Hey everybody, it's RGBs here, and today we are going to be talking about sorting systems. Now, when I say talking about sorting systems, what I'm really talking about is, we're going to do like a brief tutorial on how to make them, but we're also going to talk about understanding what they do and some of the common pitfalls that happen when you're working with a sorting system. So without further ado, we'll just go ahead and get started here. So first off, let's talk about the sorting system, right? Okay. So the idea is that first off, there's going to be a transport line. This is a line of hoppers that runs across the top, like in this example, right across the top, right? And that's like your main line for transporting hoppers across your system, right? So if you were like at the top of your base and you wanted to drop items down, you'd send them across this line. Next down is a filter. This is where you put 22 of your items. Now that means that there are certain items like swords and armor and bows that are simply not going to be able to be filtered inside of the system, which is a limitation of the system, but that's okay. Most of the really bulk items that you want to store can stack just fine. And then lastly, there's the output. This is where it goes into the storage containers itself, usually chests or something like that. Now, the way that this works is you've got 18 plus 4 is 21 items inside of your filter, right? And it adds a slight increase to the signal, right? Now this comparator here, just set here, sends a signal out, and as you can see, the signal kind of flows down into this block, which powers this repeater, which runs into this block, and actually this switches off this torch, which the whole time has been locking this hopper, right? These will not be able to go down. These 22 items here are locked in there simply because this hopper is locked. If I were to take this away, let's just go ahead and just do that really quick, right? These items start just filtering right down on in there, right? Which is, definitely not what we want at all. So we'll just go ahead and grab these, plug this back in. So if we lock this here, just run this back up to our filter. Oh, that's not what I wanted at all. Hang on. Here we go. Oh, aha, there we go. Okay. All right. So all that, if we just add 1 to this, watch this. We'll just add 1, and look, it goes down. Now, normally these add in on the other side, right? So if I add another one here, right? There you go. I should have 2 down in this hopper now. Look at that. So if you watch this, we're going to do one more time. We're just going to watch this really quick. You're going to have to look at it at the bottom, right here. We're just going to add it one more time. 1, 2. 1. There you go. Right? Now, that's all well and good. Now, in order to make this system, it's actually really simple. I like to think of it in terms of Tetris. I've just got, a corner block and 2 blocks. Now this block is not actually part of the circuit. This is merely here to support this hopper, so it's not totally necessary. But if I were to build one of these really quickly, just so that I do it on camera, I would just build it pretty much like so. Right. I'll run over here, throw on our comparator, throw down our redstone, right? And I'll just put in my torch, and we're going to hold down shift and click right here. That'll point our hopper in the right direction. This is a really critical step. If you don't do this, the whole system is not going to work. Now I'm just going to point this one off in the right direction, right? I'm going to just shift click. So this hopper is pointing this direction. If it was the last hopper in the line, I would just point it straight down, but it's not. Right? I'm just going to add a quick temporary block here. We're just going to point this hopper right over here. Again, this goes to my output chest. This goes to something like that, right? So that's all well and good. Now, this system is really nice because it's tileable, and I have seen systems that have overflow protection, which, honestly, most people, you're not going to encounter that. This is like a nice organizational system. Most people who build this do get a lot of resources, but you don't get a huge ton of resources normally. Unless you're going crazy, in which case, you can extend these out, but I don't understand that system as well, so I'm not going to talk about it. But as you can see, this one just runs across the top, sends everything down to the bottom, filters it out. Now, there is one thing to keep in mind. everybody, when they're doing a tutorial, focuses in on this part, just building this arrangement, because this is, this is the most complicated arrangement. But the thing that people forget is that you need to talk about the actual storage itself, right? Everything on the right side of this matters. This right here is something that I see a lot of people build in, and they put a hopper right here, right? Because you have to go into a chest, because you don't want to spend a lot of iron. Go right into a chest, and then you just start going down your line, right? This little step system. Now the problem with this is right here, right? This is locking this at the exact same time, which means that as long as this system is running, it's fine, right? I let a system through here, there'll be an item here, and there'll, be an item that gets stuck right in this hopper. No big deal. No big deal. It's really not. Unless you add a bunch of items just like willy-nilly right in here, thinking that they're going to trickle down into the system. If you look very carefully, they're not. They're staying up here. Why? Because this hopper is locked. So the problem is that most people realize this after they've built their entire system, right? A big system. They don't want to go through and tear it all out and figure out what's going on. Usually what I recommend, though, and this is a really super simple fix. You can fix this just by swapping around a few blocks, right? So what we're going to do is we're just going to go ahead and add in a hopper here. We just destroyed this one here and right here. Okay? Your system is no farther out, and it still works, right? And this is separate, and so it's not powering anything. Once it goes in here, even if you dump a ton of blocks in here, see how it's already just filtering out? No problem. And that's what you're looking for. So the easiest way to change it is just to go through, get rid of, hang on, let me just swap that around. If you find yourself that, having a setup like this and it's not working, things are getting caught, just go ahead and knock out that hopper, knock out that part of the chest, plug it in right here, and you should be fine, right? You want, ideally, where the torch is, a 2 wide gap. You can do that a couple ways. You can do that with a dual hopper if you want. So hopper, that's fine. But I find that the best way to get that gap is just to do a double wide chest. Alright, so that's going to do it for this tutorial / discussion about sorting systems. If you have any questions about redstone, please leave it in the comments. If you like this video, leave a like, and of course subscribe for more videos like this, and I will be sure to make them. Thank you so much. I'm RGBs, and you have yourself a great day.